Welcome all. We will be covering trading basics for beginners, some stocks for long term, and question answers which could be applicable for new members as well as long time trading members. Now, for basics for beginners, my first suggestion is to keep things simple. Since you are a beginner, try to start with only one stock market, be it Canadian stock market, US, or India. Begin with a low commission trading platform. Example, Wealthsimple, which doesn't charge any commission. So you could kind of use it as a platform where you could do small trades or multiple trades just to learn how the market is and how you could maximize it to get some of the strategies. You have to also understand whether you are intending to be an investor or a trader. Try to answer this question for yourself. Do you want to be a short and long term investor, or you like to do swing and day trades and be pro trader someday? This question is very important as it helps to come out of noise or the fluctuations that happens all throughout the day during the market hours. If you are an investor, as you are only concerned about how your stocks or how your portfolio is growing on a daily basis, and most of you might be actually tending to be an investor because you don't have much time during 9:30 to 4 during the market hours to track how the market is moving. Based on your personal condition, have an answer for this which will help you going forward. Which of these is better? If you can monitor and you would like to maximize the market, consider yourself as a trader. The third point is very, very important as a beginner is learn to buy stocks when it is low and sell when it is high. I would say the very reason why you want to do trading is you want to make profit, and making profit consistently is what you should aim. Focus from the start itself to have strategies which could help you to make profit consistently. Now, going to fourth, spend some time to learn about the fundamentals, about the technicals, as well as risk analysis. These three components assist you in buying and selling stocks. Now, the fifth point, analyze stock market, stock recommendations. This analysis will help you to find the stocks which you should be keeping in your watch list and will eventually go into your buy list. And most especially the market news, it it creates a big impact on the stock price variation. Market news in the favor of a company can boost its stock price, whereas a market news which is not in favor of it can lead investors and big players to dump the stock, leading its fall of a stock within a very short time. It could be even within a day. And apart from this, the sixth step is very important, that is ask questions. Ask questions to yourself. The stock that you have chosen for analysis, is it worth to be in your portfolio? If you think it is worth to be in portfolio and you have bought it, ask yourself that is it going to give you the profit that you expect out of it? You might have chosen to buy the stock for either short term, medium term, or long term. Evaluate basically and retrospect that whether it is performing the way you expected before buying it. If it is giving you that kind of return, you don't have to worry about it. You, as a long term investor, you buy at a low, and if it is performing the way you expected out of it, you don't need to do anything for that. However, if the stock is in your portfolio and if it is going low and not giving the returns which you expected out of it, that's where you need to think and come up with strategies which could help you to make sure that it starts giving profit within the short time, or you need to make adjustments. It all depends on how the stock is performing. So retrospecting once a stock is in your portfolio is very, very important. Ask questions not only to yourself, ask some of the experts that you know or the groups that you follow to take suggestions. It's not that you might get the absolute right answer. Asking to others is to get a suggestion which can help you to take a right decision. So it's totally fair and good to ask even a basic question and get someone else's suggestion rather than taking a decision on own and doing a wrong buy or sell and losing money on that particular trade or on that particular stock. In the group there was a request for some suggestion for some of the stocks good for high growth. There are some stocks which could give 2x to 10x growth based on current price. I see that could be worth. However, I would mention a disclaimer that you still need to do analysis of this stock and gain confidence on it. Keep it in the watch list, follow its trend, and once you gain confidence and you realize that it is going to give you the short term or the long term profit that you expect out of it, then only take the decision for buying it. I have shared this based on long term perspective and based on price levels that I see that it has currently and could be suitable for long term.
Kamal, this is Aditya. Sorry, just a quick question regarding the 5 stocks that you shared on the screen. So one question that I've got, I'm not sure whether this is a query others have as well. So if you can also let us know, like, what would be the best price range we can buy this stocks at, so that we are aware, like, okay, if this falls or comes in this price range, we can buy it, or we don't want to be in a situation wherein we buy it at a higher range and then we feel, okay, it's going to come down, we should have waited for a much longer time to buy it at a lower range.
Absolutely, that's a good question, Aditya, and I'll be covering that here.
Kamal, sorry to interrupt you. To add on to that, it would be great if you would guide us how we can, how I can analyze from my end itself. This would be the right price. This is the lowest price.
Right, sure.
Should buy this stock.
Sure, Satish. I'll try to cover that as well. As a beginner, since you might not be familiar with many of the technical aspects and many of the factors that usually expert technical analysts take into consideration. As a beginner, you could just keep things simple and see the variation which the stock has in its 52-week price range as well as its daily price range. Daily price range is not something that would affect you much. Only its current price is what will be needed for analyzing whether this is suitable for us or no. This 52-week graph helps you to see how the stock has performed over a year. Now, if you click on this full feature chart, you could see how the stock has performed with candlesticks. How do we go about analyzing at what price we should be buying and whether it is suitable for long term and can it give us 5x to 10x or the returns that we expect out of it? So if you see its current price is 0.74 and here around range of 0.53 to 0.7 it has consolidated in April and May. For beginners, you could start with drawing the support level. So for this, if you see, we have a support close to 0.61 as over here and at some more points if you see that the price has rebounded upward after touching that level. And on a long term, if you see at the resistance level of this stock, it could go up to 3.6, which is it can give you close to 6x return if you are able to get the stock at 0.60. Satish, does that help? Satish and Aditya?
Yes, Kamal. I think that was helpful. Yeah, thanks.
Right. So similarly, if we go to OGI.
Sorry, Kamal. It was very good. Yep, thank you for the explanation.
Okay, I can explain again with example of OGI since I already have the support and resistance lines included in this. So the support level for OGI, as it is in downward trend, if you could get it at 1.8, around its support level of 1.82, and plan it for long term. This I'm showing in a 1-year graph. It had reached around 9.2. So if you calculate, it comes to be over 5x. If you want to hold it even longer, it could give up to this level of 9.99. Yeah. So based on this, at what resistance level you should be expecting as a return, it depends on how much time you want to hold the stock. If you are planning to hold for 1 year, you should be looking at resistance level of or the price target of 9.24. If you want to hold it for shorter time, it like say around 6 to 9 months, you could have a consider around a price target of around 6.5. Basically, it depends on how much time you are planning to hold a particular stock. Based on that, you could for yourself decide what is the target returns you are expecting out of it. Now the next stock is CGX. As you guys have noticed that a couple of days back, it went down a lot. If you could get it at support, so if you could get CGX at around 7.9, which is, you say, $8, though it has taken an upward trend, and if it comes down and if you get around 8, for a duration of 1 year, if you're planning to hold, you could have a price target of around 34, which is close to 4x. And if you could hold it longer, you could expect a return of close to 7x. So this is just a reference of how you could be analyzing on these stocks and set the return levels based on the duration that you would like to hold. Last stock which I have mentioned is UNS. This is, I would say, is a special stock which is slightly different from the other four, as other four are still at their lower prices, whereas UNS has already picked up. So for UNS, its current price is 9. You could see that it has increased a lot in this 1.5 month. And since I was able to buy it at its lowest support level 3.23, it has been profitable for me. But if someone wants to take a new position at this point of time, it could be risky for short term. However, if you are looking at it from the long term of, let's say, 5 years, this current price still becomes good enough to buy it for a long term. As you could see, it was at a resistance level of 36 about 3 years back in April 2017. So if someone is thinking of taking new position, I would recommend to think from very long time, not just 1 year. Think about holding it for 3 years to 5 years. If you plan to hold it for short term, wait for it to come down at a lower price. In this case, it could be support level of around 4.5. There is a support. So wait for it to come down at 4.5, then buy it, and always have that in mind for how much return you are expecting out of it. So how much time you would like to hold this. These two questions should always be answered, as in how much return you expect out of it, and based on that, for how much time you would be holding it. Is that clear?
Yep.
Any questions on this?
So for the stocks that you put on the list there, it seems like they're primarily based on technical analysis. Is there some fundamental analysis? Just because they're low now, or they have been low and they're now coming back up, or maybe coming back up. Is there a fundamental reason that you're also suggesting those, or primarily technical?
So there are three aspects actually, as I had mentioned in the slide, is fundamental, technical, and risk. So based on these three analyses, then the fundamental and technical analysis, it fits it into my risk that I can bear if it doesn't go up. If it starts going down, I can bear its risk. So it fits into the risk level that I usually keep for a stock. Based on these three factors I have mentioned there. However, as risk level varies for individual, and the price level that individual would like to have for a particular stock, and the fundamentals that individual look in a stock vary from one person to another. So I would still recommend you going through these stocks, doing it fundamental, technical, and risk analysis. If you think that based on all three factors, this stock fits into your expectations, and after that, you should not be buying it. After that, you should be adding to your watch list and then analyze its trend and decide before buying. Now moving to question and answers, we have few questions from Damanjit. He is our new and diligent group member. His question is, if we sell a stock on the same day, wouldn't that be considered as intraday or day trade? Do we need to register a corporation for such transactions like non-registered TFSA, RESP, RRSP account? It will be kind of unregistered account, right? Yes, if you buy a stock and sell it on the same day, it will be considered as intraday or day trade. Now, whether to register a corporation for such transaction, it depends on whether you are a long-term investor who has done one-off day trade, or you are a trader who does n number of transactions during the market days. If you are a trader, you should be registering a corporation for such transactions. And yes, you are right. You should be using a non-registered account like a personal account in Wealthsimple Trade for doing day trades. It's not recommended to use any of the registered accounts like TFSA, RESP, RRSP for day trades, whether you are a trader or an investor. His further questions are, where to add the income from such account while filing taxes? Can we do it under individual or business corporation account is desired? If you are a trader, the income from such account should be filed under your business corporation account. On the other hand, if you are an investor and filing such income under your individual account as capital gains, it depends at the discretion of CRA whether it will be considered as capital gain or business income. Damanpreet further says, I read you cannot use the TFSA limit twice in the same year if you withdraw the amount. And he asks, do you only use TFSA or RRSP accounts for investing or trading? I would say you are right here again that the TSFA contribution limit cannot be used twice in the same year, even if you withdraw your TSFA contribution limit amount. The amount that you withdraw from your TFSA account gets replenished only at the start of next year. So it's highly suggestible to stay within your contribution limit for that year. I personally use registered TFSA account for short to long term investing and unregistered personal account for swing trades. Hope this helps.